inspiration started with this card, then moved on to this card, then a slight variation, same one as before, oh, another variation. All these were created with this cute little die cut called Bauble Bloom Dies from Stampin' Up. So stay tuned where I'm going to make 3 more cards featuring the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper and the coordinating glimmer paper. Hi, my name is Marianne Cowan. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Ottawa, Canada, and I typically come live on Fridays, but I've been doing a few impromptu videos lately when I've been in my craft room and creating something that I think you might enjoy seeing. So I'm just clicking on my video to make sure I am in the right spot. So it did start out with this card at my card class, and one of the ladies said, I wonder if the bauble, because we had created a different card with it, would fit in there, and I said, I don't think so. Well, then I had to try, and I came up with these ideas. And then this one, which features the joy from a paper pumpkin die set called Abundant Joy. And that little bauble, so now we're going to use it to create 3 more cards, completely different color palette, and using the Peaceful Garden glimmer paper, which comes in these beautiful shades. I already ran out of this one. And then the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. And we're going to be using this beautiful piece, this design, and I see it peeking through, this design. Oops, I just hit the microphone. So if you have this paper, because I believe it was on back order for a while, it's been around for a little while, and sometimes you use those papers and you don't go back to them, but when I saw that die for the ornament, I was thinking what other papers might look nice, and I was wondering if the doves would fit in the bauble. Stay tuned to find out. Alright, so we're going to be making 3 cards, each one a little bit different, but the same kind of elements in each one. So we are featuring Cloud Cover, Secret Sea. I always call it Stormy Sea, but it's not. It's Secret Sea. So you can tell the measurements. These are just a 1/4 inch up for each size. Some of the other ones are a little less. If your glue gets stuck, have a pin handy to just poke through. Hopefully that worked. There we go. I'm a former teacher, and there was nothing worse than art class when everybody's glue wouldn't work and you had to go around because you probably didn't have time beforehand. Then a piece of the Designer Series paper. This would be 3 3/4 by 5. So just down a 1/4 inch each layer. So 3 layers. Then we have our bauble ornament in the glimmer paper. And I have found, because I've made a few of these now, that it's easier to put the glue on the back of the hanger. That's what I'm calling it. And then it's got little dots so you can line it up, because every time I've done it the other way and turned it around, it's always been crooked. Now to hold that in place, I am going to use dimensionals because I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals anyways. So I'll just add one there and that will keep that in place. And let's just add the other ones. Now this little sprig is from it's not in here, but this is where it's from. Delicate Pines Dies. So that's another really nice set. That's what our actual class was focused on. And then we added we just kind of went rogue and tried all these cards. So now for the Joy, I do want to pop it up as well. So I am going to take an adhesive sheet and cut little thin strips. And you don't need a lot, it's just a small piece of paper, so you just need a couple of pieces, and I make sure you can't see through because I don't like it when you can see through. I'll save that one later, but far away. Last time I got it stuck on my gold foil. Now you can put one in the middle, but to be honest, I don't think you need it. So let's go ahead and put Joy on the ornament. And I want it middle and straight is my criteria. And then we're going to take this sprig and this sprig and add them like this. Now, little tip. You know when you have a sprig or a leaf branch and it's actually arced a certain way, and if you wanted to put it on the other side, arced the other way, it was really difficult to do. So how did I get this one arced the other way? Well, I'll tell you, when I die cut it, let me grab it, I know exactly where it is. When I die cut it, so this would go this way, so when I die cut it, I simply put it on the back, then die cut it out, and then you get it the other way. It's not quite as crisp, the little in lines, I guess you want to say, inside, but to me you can't really notice. So we're not going to do it like that, we're going to do it like this, and like this. So pretty. Alright, so I think I'm going to glue these down actually. And just see if that's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work actually. I want to make sure that I don't have it coming off the edge. Better put this on to make sure. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Alright, so I'm just going to add a little bit more glue here. And then we'll pop these off. And you can pop this up or not. Now I want to make sure that's centered. Yes. We have been adding bows to some of them, but to me there's enough going on up here. I don't think you need a bow. It's not the exact same color either, so sometimes it's fine and sometimes it really shows that it's not the same color. Alright, first card, Joy, with our little sprig up and down. Okay, so we'll add that to the pile. The next one is, okay, so this one I'm going to show you another little trick. So again, we have Secret Sea. I don't know, these aren't cut very well. Sometimes that happens. Secret Sea, Cloud Cover. These colors together are beautiful. They are in colors, they're here for 2 years, but I hope they stick around longer than that. You can see that my card base is not actually folded properly. My friend has a trick, she lines it up in her paper cutter, but I don't know, I just never do that. That's better. And then we have, this paper was so pretty on both sides. Although this pattern was very big, so it was a little trickier to use. Don't tell me my glue is empty. This glue was on sale today in the Black Friday sale, so Stampin' Up! Is having a big Black Friday sale. But by the time I went on to order some, it was already unavailable. So there are blends on sale, there are papers on sale. Basic White was on sale, but it was no longer available either. And then there was blends, the paper trimmer's on sale, a whole bunch of different things. Oh, so for this one I'm going to do the same thing with the Joy. And oh, look at that, I already have pieces on here to make it go a little bit quicker because we have one extra step in this one. So there we go, Joy, and again I'm going to glue this on. And glue it on the back. This is a new glue, it should not be giving me a hard time. It seems to come out in a big, all at once. There we go. Oopsie. And I don't want very much, so let's put this on. Line it up and center it. Hold it for a second, because I noticed last time when I put the dimensional on, the other glue didn't stick as well. Okay, so there we got that. Let's put a couple of more. So for this one we're using smaller sprigs, and I did the same thing that I just showed you to get it going the other way. And these ones are from this little die set from Paper Pumpkin. That was a really good die set, I must say, one of the best ones. Alright, so we've got Joy, we've got our sprigs, and we're doing something special with the ribbon this time. So this is going to go like this. We're going to put our sprigs like this, but we can do that after. I just want to make sure this is glued down properly. So I'm going to take a little piece of silver trim, I think this was called. It came in a pack with gold and silver. It's no longer available, but you might have some in your stash. And this is going to be hanging the ornament. And yeah, I was supposed to do this before at this stage. So we're going to go with Plan B and trim it. So if you hadn't glued this on, like I shouldn't have, then it would be easier. Let's try that. Do as I say, not as I do. So let's see if we can tuck this in. All right, and we're going to hope that's going to stay. I'm going to put a glue dot and hope that that is going to stay attached, because it looks really pretty. I want to show you how to do it. So when you do yours, make sure that you do it before you glue this on. And I just put a piece of tear and tape in the back when I did my other one, because I have done this already. Now we can take these off and put our ornament on. And you want to pull it down so that it seems like it's hanging. We want to get our Joy straight and this centered. Okay. Close enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put another little glue dot under there. I'm squishing it in half. Although it does look realistically... Okay, because we're going to put the bow on top anyway. So now I'm taking my bow and I'm going to put it right there. That should hold everything in place. And now we have our two little sprigs that we're going to have out. And what I thought was pretty is to have this leaf hanging over a little bit on the front, but not over the Joy. So just kind of like that. And then the other one like that. I'm actually going to trim it off a little bit, because I'm not getting it in quite as far as I want. And I'm going to put these in with glue dots, I think. We'll see if that works. If I can get it close enough in. Yeah, that's better. Again, I don't want to come over top of the joy. So let's just do another little glue dot. And there we go. Joy. It's a little not exactly centered and straight, but you get the idea. It's very pretty. I like it. And one more. And this one, oh yes, this one is using the doves. So I did take the paper with the doves. Now you do have to be strategic where you die cut it. So you need to have your die so that it goes, so you can't use the side one. You have to use the middle ones. And so then you can get 1, 2, 3. So you just have to put it on. You're gonna have to trim your paper, otherwise it won't fit in your big shot. And then it'll fit perfectly inside the ornament, which I thought was a bonus because it's so pretty. So we're gonna have all of these pieces, and I don't know where the top of that went. So let's go ahead, and I didn't want to use up too much of the glimmer paper because it's more expensive obviously than the regular paper. You get 6 sheets in a pack, 2 each of the 3 colors. So again, okay, this is the wrong size. Okay, don't do as ice. Oh, no, I'm right. It's supposed to go right all the way up, 5.5. Okay, losing my mind. Yes, so this goes all the way to the top, so it's 5.5. This piece is also 5.5, but this one goes down first. So 5.5 by, I'll check the measurement on this one in a second. So center it. I always like to make sure everything at the top is lined up because I can always go down and trim the bottom. So this is by 3.5, and this one will be by 3.25. All right, so I did keep this one the full height, so it is 5.5. There we go. I think there was a little blob in my glue. Now when you're gluing on top of glimmer paper, it does take it a second to adhere. If you didn't want to do the die cutting, you could just trim out little pieces of glimmer, but those are really small. So now I do need a top to my bauble. Don't know what I did with it. These are all my extra pieces, so hopefully I have one that I'm looking for. It has to be blue. Of course I have lots of silver. I should leave this die out, otherwise I'm never going to find it. I did lose for a moment, yay, the die for this, which was a frantic moment because it's pretty small. And then I realized it was still stuck in the glimmer paper of the last one that I had die cut. So be careful about that, because it really would not be as pretty without this particular die. So there we go. We're going to do our same trick as we did before, where we're going to put a dimensional there, 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 and there. Okay. So now we'll add it to our card. Is anyone else in their craft room today? I've been doing all kinds of things today. Okay, that looks good. That's going to go up here. And then we have another joy for the bottom, and this one I do need some more little pieces, which I just happen to have. That one's a bit too long, I can tell. So I'll trim it, and I'll take the little piece I trimmed off and just stick it here. My husband did come into my craft room this morning and said, "Oh my gosh, I can see your table." Because I had a card class on Saturday, and I said, when I have an event, it gets messy. Okay, so I want the O pretty much lined up in the middle. And I don't know, I don't think I decided if I wanted little sprigs. I think I can just leave this one without sprigs, without a ribbon, just plain, because the paper is so beautiful. And you've got the glitter coming up the sides as well. All right, 3 more cards using the amazing Bauble Blooms Dies. They're available from Stampin Up. They're having a Black Friday sale right now. Those aren't on sale, but they will also be having their clearance sale soon, so maybe they'll be on sale in the clearance sale. I actually do not know. Okay, so let's look at our 3 ones from today. Get all this stuff out of the way, and tell me if you have a favorite. This was card 3, card 2, and card 1. Oh, I don't know. We'll take the red ones out of the running because those were from, I think, Saturday. Did I do it? Sunday maybe? Card 1, card 2, or card 3. All made with the Bauble Blooms Dies. Now it does have another die in here for florals because this bundle comes with a stamp set. That's why it's called Bauble Blooms. And it's got a flower stamp that you stamp in the middle of the die, which is really pretty. But I really just wanted the actual ornament, and then we also used these paper pumpkin dies. So card 1, card 2, or card 3. What's your favorite? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification button so that you will know every time I go live and do another video. And I will be here Friday at 3. That's my usual time to come on. But I was so excited about these cards that I thought I would pop on and show you, in case you're putting an order in for Black Friday, you could be sure to include the Bauble Blooms die set. Thanks everyone, and have a great day.